Hello, hello, Josie here. Are you ready for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And are you sure? Okay, here we go. So I'm enjoying this beautiful Saturday. I'm getting rest and I'm doing what God has called me to do. If you would like to donate to this channel, donate to me personally, I do appreciate it. You can do so at Josie J.L. Walker. That's the Cash App. So the Cash App sign, Josie J.L. Walker. Or you can Zelle at walkerjosielee@gmail.com. Doing so would help. It would help me to be able to put gas in my tank, to be able to travel, be able to eat, as well as take care of other things that need to be taken care of. Now I'm going to go into what I'm going to speak on, which is very important, especially right now during this time in this day and age. I know you heard that before, this day and age. But with where we are in society as a whole, these changes need to be made. They really do need to be made. I feel and I believe and I agree that when you are in your teenage years, your developing years, seriously, you're socially developing, you're mentally developing, even more so than in your adolescence, your prepubescent years. You're coming into young adulthood, and there are not only rules, but certain things that you really need to be capable of doing. And one of those is regulating and maintaining your attitude, realizing and or uncovering and discovering and setting what your goals are, as well as your moral compass, makeup, your values, and in short, your code of ethics. And if your code of ethics, your morals, and your values are corrupt, negative, if you come from a family where you were basically raised to be judgmental, hateful, to engage in various wicked behaviors, and going out into the world and dealing with other individuals, you can wind up getting yourself up in some trouble. And you may have someone to fall back on, whether it be your parents or family, but there are a lot of those that do not have anybody to fall back on. They're on their own. So any mistake that they make, any choice that they make that was not, a good one or even a smart one, if they were not able to maintain or regulate their attitude, if their moral compass and their values and their code of ethics were not up to par and or were not respectable, they're going to have some problems, and they're going to be, I'm going to say, subjected and or feel as if they have to do immoral acts and or behaviors just to be able to make it and or to afford to live and take care of themselves. And they may not want to do that. They may not be in agreement with that, but they feel as if they have to do that, which basically will bring them down lower. It will bring them down lower. And it'll be harder to get out of that hole that they've dug for themselves. The reason why I've always had this business acumen, it was God-given. And no, I did not go to university and get my degree. I didn't do that. I was going to. I planned on it a few different times. And I'm going to say that I was not successful. It was not because I did not do the work. It was because I had to take care of other things in my life, other commitments and responsibilities, and I had to put that to the backside so that I could focus on what was most important at that time. Early on in life, I will say that yes, there was some interference, some things that occurred and happened, but I did not let that drag me down. I moved forward and I gained even more knowledge and wisdom in the field to be able to share this with you today. In business, especially when it comes to customer service, with the young individuals and young folks, especially in their teenage years, they have the wrong attitude. A lot of these establishments are hiring these young folks because they need an entry-level job. They need a position. Not only that, they need to fill these positions and roles within these businesses where they have to have someone, customer facing. And what do we have now? Now we have a lot of kiosks and menus and boards and whatnot where you go and you place your order on a screen and you don't even really have any contact or interaction with any workers. I really believe that that is a big problem. That's a huge problem. Huge problem. And it's not helping the youth. It's hurting them. And it's only going to get worse. I would say that if you do go to an establishment and you do see a menu board where you basically place your own order, I would turn around and walk out and never go back. Because that's just basically saying it's okay, it's alright, and it's not. These youth need to be trained. They need to be trained. They need to learn how to deal with people, how to talk to people, how to deal with confrontation, how to deal with anger, how to deal with attitudes, how to deal with different personalities, how to communicate. How to communicate, not just with peers their age, but with those that are older than them and those that are younger than them. You're not doing them any advantages by putting in those types of devices into a business. And not only that, it's a way to not only save money, but it's also a way to try to protect a business's reputation. But I'm telling you that that is not going to work. That's not going to work. Another thing that I'm going to talk about as well too, these delivery apps, food apps and whatnot, those are also destroying businesses. Those need to be removed. Those need to be taken out altogether. You need to go to an establishment and at least go through the drive-thru. If not, get out of the car and go in and sit down and have a meal if that's what you are wanting to do. But let's be completely and totally honest on here. A lot of people do not want to take the time to go inside to a restaurant or an establishment, especially a fast food restaurant, sit down and enjoy a meal, because in a lot of ways it's not enjoyable. The environment is not enjoyable. The atmosphere is very just dull and boring and lifeless. The energy from other individuals in a lot of ways is negative. You have a lot of different, you've always had different attitudes, different personalities, different people. But now, there's not much, what's the word I'm looking for? There's not a lot of patience within people to deal with those that they do not want to deal with. And it's not just race or sex. It's the different personalities that can be too extreme. It's the aggressive behaviors. It's the morals and values that they do not feel comfortable even being in the same room with now. You know, we've lost a lot as a society as a whole in regard to not only business but entertainment, and the value that is lost, that has been lost from different establishments in entertainment. A lot of things have taken a back seat in order for profit and greed to become superior. Because that's what a lot of people want. They want the power, they want the money, they want the respect. They want to get in, get all they can, and possibly get the fuck out and or move into something else where they don't have to deal with those that they don't want to deal with, but they'll deal with what they have to deal with in order to get the money. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as they get what they need, they'll leave. They'll move on to something else and pass it on to somebody else that doesn't give a crap. And that's kind of what's been happening. Is it's kind of been slowly, year after year, just slowly failing, slowly tumbling down. And that tumble is starting to increase. It's the snowball effect. It's starting to really increase and move even faster. And it's going to take out a lot of businesses. It is taking out a lot of business. It's not only affecting the health of individuals, it's affecting the futures as well too of individuals and their inability to even deal with the most necessary basics. Gonna leave it at that. Gotta go.